welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into a concept that I think is super fascinating, and that's the confidence cycle.
Ooh, I like that. The confidence cycle.
Yeah, so we've got research and anecdotes and actionable strategies all lined up to help you really understand how confidence fuels success.
Okay.
Why losing streaks can feel like you're, stuck in quicksand.
Yeah.
And most importantly, how you can break free and build that lasting confidence.
That's huge. Yeah, and it's interesting how confidence is not just this, fluffy,
Right.
feel-good concept.
Right.
It genuinely impacts, how we perceive ourselves, how we approach challenges.
Yeah.
And even the opportunities that come our way. It's like
Yeah.
this invisible force shaping our realities.
Yeah, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're confident, you go after bigger goals,
Right.
you take more risks, and because you're in that mindset,
Yeah.
you're more likely to achieve them.
Right.
And then that success fuels even more confidence.
Exactly.
And the cycle continues.
It's a snowball effect. And to kind of illustrate this, let's look at a company like Apple.
Okay, yeah.
Back when they launched the first iPhone, it wasn't just about the technology.
Right.
They projected this aura of innovation and confidence
Yes.
that resonated with everyone.
Yeah.
Customers, investors, even their competitors felt it.
Wow.
And that confidence played a massive role in their success.
It's like they believed in their product so fiercely
Yeah.
that everyone else started believing in it too.
Yes.
And that confidence became contagious and just drove their momentum.
It did.
And it's not just in the business world, right? Think about Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't born a basketball legend.
Right.
His confidence came from relentless practice, learning from his losses,
Yeah.
and this just unshakable belief in his ability to come back stronger.
That's a perfect example of
Yeah.
how confidence is built over time through effort and resilience.
Right.
It's not just about talent, it's about the work you put in
Yes.
and how you handle setbacks.
Yeah. And speaking of how confidence builds,
Yeah, okay.
this brings us to something really interesting.
Okay.
The 4 levels of confidence.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Okay.
So we've got self-confidence,
Yes.
our belief in ourselves,
Uh,
then there's trust in others,
right.
having a solid team where everyone's got each other's back,
Yep.
confidence in the system,
Yes.
meaning having the right structures and processes to support your goals,
Uh-huh.
and finally, external confidence,
Right.
how the world perceives you.
And what's remarkable is how these levels work together, feeding off each other.
Okay.
Imagine a company like Tesla.
Okay.
Elon Musk's self-belief is contagious,
Right.
inspiring his team, which leads to innovative systems and processes, resulting in a product that the world embraces.
Right.
It all starts with a strong foundation of self-confidence that ripples outwards.
It's like those levels create this upward spiral.
Yes.
The more confident you are in yourself,
Yeah.
the more you trust your team, the better systems you build.
Right. And the more positive attention you attract from the outside.
Absolutely.
It's this amazing cycle of growth.
It is.
But what about when things don't go so well?
Okay.
What happens when we hit a roadblock or worse, a full-blown losing streak?
That's when we can get caught in what's called the doom loop.
The doom loop.
This downward spiral starts with self-doubt. Even a small setback can trigger it.
Oh, wow.
That doubt leads to risk avoidance.
Okay.
We hesitate, we play it safe and miss opportunities.
Yeah.
As a result, our performance declines, reinforcing that initial failure,
Right.
and the cycle continues.
It's like that one missed deadline at work
Yes.
that spirals into feeling overwhelmed and questioning your abilities, and suddenly you're second-guessing every decision, afraid to take on new challenges.
Exactly. And this doom loop isn't just an individual thing.
Right.
Remember Nokia?
Yeah.
They were once the kings of the mobile phone market.
Yeah, they are huge.
But their hesitation to fully embrace the smartphone, perhaps out of fear of disrupting their existing success,
Right.
allowed competitors like Apple to surge ahead.
It's like they got stuck in that risk avoidance stage,
Yeah.
clinging to their past victories instead of adapting to the changing landscape.
Right.
And that hesitation ultimately led to their downfall.
Precisely. But here's the good news.
Okay.
Confidence isn't a fixed trait.
Okay.
It's more like a muscle that can be strengthened with the right exercises.
I like that.
It's never too late to break free from the doom loop and start building lasting confidence.
Okay, so that's what we're going to dig into today.
Let's do it.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Okay, so we talked about how confidence can spiral upwards, driving success, and how it can also spiral downwards, trapping us in a cycle of doubt and missed opportunities.
Yeah.
But how do we break free from that doom loop and start building unshakable confidence?
You know, it starts with realizing that even after a series of setbacks, a comeback is always possible.
Okay.
Confidence isn't a finite resource, it's something we can cultivate and regenerate.
That's incredibly encouraging.
It is.
It means that no matter what challenges we faced,
Mm-hmm.
we have the power to turn things around.
Absolutely.
And to illustrate this point, let's look at someone who embodies this idea of bouncing back. Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, yeah. Love Oprah.
She was actually fired from her first TV job before becoming the media mogul we know today.
Crazy, right?
It's wild. It would have been easy to let that rejection define her, but instead she used it as fuel to prove her doubters wrong.
Absolutely.
So Oprah's story is a powerful reminder that setbacks don't have to dictate our future.
Right.
They can be catalysts for growth, pushing us to strive for even greater things.
Exactly. It's about shifting our perspective and recognizing that we're not defined by our failures.
Right.
We have the power to choose how we respond to those challenges and use them as stepping stones to success.
So how do we trigger that turning point in our own lives?
Okay.
What are the practical steps we can take to start rebuilding our confidence and get back on track?
Well, one of the first steps is to shift our identity. We need to stop labeling ourselves as failures and detach from past mistakes.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're not our past, we're the sum of our choices and actions in the present moment.
That makes sense. So instead of saying I'm a failure, we can say I made a mistake, but I'm learning from it.
Exactly.
It's about acknowledging the past without letting it define our present or our future.
Precisely. It's about rewriting the narrative we tell ourselves and focusing on the possibilities that lie ahead.
Yeah.
Every day is a new opportunity to create the future we want.
So step one, shift our identity. What's the next step in this confidence-building journey?
Next, focus on small wins.
Okay.
When you're feeling down, don't try to conquer the world all at once. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps.
Right.
This allows you to build momentum and regain a sense of self-efficacy.
This reminds me of the 1% rule.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of aiming for a massive overnight transformation,
Right.
focus on getting just 1% better each day.
Yes.
It's about making small, consistent improvements that compound over time, leading to significant results.
Exactly. Each small win is a deposit in your confidence bank.
I like that.
It reinforces the belief that you're capable and moving in the right direction.
So we're shifting our identity and celebrating small wins. What else can we do to actively rebuild our confidence?
Don't wait until you feel confident to take action.
Right.
Action creates confidence. It's a bit counterintuitive, but often the feeling of confidence comes after we've taken a step forward, not before.
That's such a crucial point.
It is.
It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment for all the stars to align before we take action.
Yeah.
But often that moment never comes because we're paralyzed by fear and self-doubt.
Right, as Tony Robbins said, the path to success is to take massive, determined action.
Wow.
So even if you're feeling unsure, count down from 5 and just do it. That's the 5-second rule in action.
I love that.
A simple yet powerful way to overcome hesitation and break the inertia of inaction.
It's like a little mental trick to outsmart our fear and get ourselves moving.
It is.
Another important step is to change your environment.
Oh, that's huge.
Confidence is contagious,
Yeah,
and our surroundings can have a profound impact on our mindset.
they do.
We all know how draining negativity can be.
Yes.
If you're constantly around people who complain, doubt themselves, or focus on the negative,
Right.
it's going to chip away at your own confidence.
Surround yourself with positive influences.
Yeah.
Whether it's inspiring people, uplifting books, or motivational podcasts,
Right.
create an environment that fosters growth, positivity, and a belief in your potential.
It's like choosing to nourish our minds with positive input instead of letting negativity seep in.
I love that analogy.
So we're taking action, changing our environment.
Yeah.
What about those times when we get caught up seeking validation from others?
That's another key area to address.
Okay.
Stop seeking approval from others.
Okay.
Trust your own judgment and pursue your goals without needing external validation. It's about recognizing your own worth and believing in your vision.
It's about recognizing that true confidence comes from within.
Yes.
It's not about seeking approval or validation from others. It's about believing in ourselves and our abilities.
Remember J.K. Rowling?
Yeah.
She was rejected by 12 publishers before finding success with Harry Potter.
Wow.
Imagine if she had given up because she didn't receive initial approval.
Right.
Her story is a testament to the power of believing in yourself even when others don't.
It's a powerful reminder that we don't need anyone's permission to pursue our dreams.
That's right.
We have the power to create our own success.
We do.
And speaking of creating our own success, what's the final step in our journey to rebuild confidence?
The final step, and perhaps the most important, is to keep moving forward.
Okay.
Setbacks are inevitable.
Yeah.
We will all face challenges and experience failures along the way.
Right.
The key is to not let those setbacks define us.
This reminds me of a quote by Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
Wow, I like that.
It's those challenges that force us to grow, adapt, and become more resilient.
Embrace the challenges, learn from your mistakes, and never lose twice in a row.
Okay.
If you stumble, get back up and keep moving forward.
It's like a boxer getting back up after being knocked down.
Yeah.
You might lose a round, but you haven't lost the fight.
That's right.
Persistence is key.
That's a great analogy, and this idea of persistence leads us to the next phase of our discussion.
Okay.
Maintaining confidence for the long haul.
Okay.
It's one thing to bounce back from a setback, but how do we sustain that confidence and stay on a winning path?
Right, yeah. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've explored how confidence drives success, how we can get trapped in that doom loop, and the steps to rebuild our confidence when we stumble.
It's been quite a journey.
It has been. But what about maintaining that confidence over the long haul? How do we avoid falling into complacency, especially after achieving a big win?
That's where we encounter what we call the success trap.
Oh, the success trap. Okay.
It's this interesting phenomenon where achieving a significant victory can actually become a pitfall.
Okay.
We relax, we let our guard down, and suddenly we're not as sharp as we used to be.
I can see that happening. You reach the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
You take a moment to celebrate, which is natural.
Right.
But then you maybe lose that hunger, that drive that got you there in the first place.
Exactly. Think of a championship sports team.
Okay.
They win the title, enjoy the accolades, maybe ease up on their training regimen, and then the next season they're struggling to maintain their dominance.
Wow.
The hunger that fueled their success has diminished.
So how do we avoid falling into this trap? How do we stay motivated, stay hungry for growth, even after we've achieved a major goal?
The key is to cultivate a mindset of continuous improvement.
Okay.
Even after a big win, ask yourself, what's my next level?
Okay.
What are the new challenges I want to tackle? How can I keep pushing myself to learn and grow?
It's about adopting that growth mindset we've been talking about. That belief that we're always capable of becoming more, achieving more, and contributing more.
Right. Success should be a springboard, not a finish line.
Yeah.
It should fuel our desire to keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep striving to reach our full potential.
So how do we make this a consistent practice? How do we weave this mindset of continuous improvement into our daily lives? I'm guessing this is where those confidence rituals you mentioned earlier come into play.
You got it. These rituals are about creating daily habits that nurture our confidence and help us stay on that winning path. And the first one is all about setting a powerful tone for the day.
Okay.
We call it the morning power move.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this morning power move. What does it look like in practice?
Instead of hitting the snooze button or reaching for your phone first thing in the morning, try starting your day with affirmations.
Okay.
Tell yourself, today I will make progress. Today I will embrace challenges. It's about setting a positive intention for the day ahead.
It sounds simple, but I can see how that small shift in mindset can make a big difference.
It can.
You're priming your brain for success right from the start.
Exactly. And to amplify the effect, combine those affirmations with some movement.
Okay.
Get your blood flowing, whether it's a quick workout stretching or even just dancing to your favorite song.
I love that it's about energizing your body and mind, setting yourself up for a productive and confident day.
And to complete the morning power move, take one small action that moves you towards your goals.
Okay.
It could be writing down your top 3 priorities for the day, sending an important email, or tackling a small task that's been on your to-do list.
Right.
Starting the day with a sense of accomplishment, no matter how small, builds momentum.
It's like telling your brain, hey, we're already winning today.
Exactly.
It sets a positive tone that can carry you through even the most challenging tasks.
It does.
It's a morning power move. Check. What's the next ritual in our confidence toolkit?
The second ritual is all about training our brains to recognize and appreciate our successes.
Okay.
It's called the daily wins list.
I've heard of gratitude journals. But a daily wins list sounds even more focused on celebrating our own accomplishments.
Exactly. Our brains have this negativity bias, meaning we tend to dwell on the negative more than the positive.
Right.
This ritual helps counteract that bias by focusing on what we've done well, no matter how small.
So at the end of each day, we take a few minutes to write down 3 things we accomplished, 3 things we're proud of. Does it have to be something big?
Not at all. It could be anything. A productive meeting, completing a challenging task, helping a colleague, or even just sticking to your workout routine.
Yeah.
It's about acknowledging those wins no matter how small and giving ourselves credit for our efforts.
It sounds like a great way to boost our self-esteem and remind ourselves that we are capable of achieving great things.
It is.
What's the next confidence ritual?
The third ritual is about flipping the script on negative self-talk.
Okay.
We often sabotage ourselves by focusing on the what ifs. What if I mess this up? What if I fail?
Yeah.
This ritual is called the what if trick.
I'm definitely guilty of that. My mind loves to run wild with worst-case scenarios.
Yeah.
So how do we turn this around?
Instead of focusing on the negative what ifs, try asking yourself, what if I succeed? What if everything goes even better than I planned?
So instead of, what if I bomb this presentation? I should ask, what if I deliver an amazing presentation and everyone is blown away?
Exactly. It's about shifting your focus to the positive possibilities, using your imagination to fuel your confidence instead of feeding your fears.
It's about choosing to believe in our abilities and envisioning ourselves succeeding. I love that shift in perspective.
Me too.
What's the next ritual?
The fourth ritual is called the 90-second rule.
Okay.
This one is all about managing those inevitable moments when negativity creeps in.
We all have those days, right, where things don't go as planned or we make a mistake and suddenly we're spiraling into self-doubt.
Exactly, and the 90-second rule is a simple but powerful technique for handling those moments.
Okay.
When you feel those negative emotions bubbling up, allow yourself 90 seconds to feel them fully. Don't try to suppress them or push them away.
So acknowledge those feelings, let them run their course, but with a time limit.
That's right after 90 seconds. Remind yourself that these feelings are temporary.
Right.
They don't define you or your abilities. Take a deep breath, refocus on your goals, and choose to move forward.
It's like setting a boundary for negativity, acknowledging it without letting it take over.
Exactly.
What's the final ritual in our confidence arsenal?
The fifth ritual is called the 5-year test.
Okay.
This one is all about gaining perspective and not sweating the small stuff.
Okay.
Whenever you're facing a challenge or feeling stressed, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years?
That's such a powerful question. It puts things in perspective so quickly.
It does.
If the answer is no, then we can choose to let it go and focus our energy on what truly matters.
Exactly. It's about conserving our mental and emotional energy for the things that have a lasting impact on our lives.
So we've got our 5 daily rituals. The morning power move, the daily wins list, the what if, trick, the 90-second rule, and the 5-year test. These are fantastic tools for building and maintaining confidence. But what about those moments when we're facing really tough challenges, when the pressure is on and those nagging doubts start creeping back in?
Okay.
How do we stay strong in those high-pressure situations?
That's where mental toughness comes in.
Okay.
It's about developing that inner resilience that helps us navigate those challenging moments without losing our confidence.
Yeah.
And one of the most effective ways to cultivate mental toughness is to adopt a champion's mindset.
Okay. I like the sound of that. What does it mean to have a champion's mindset? What can we learn from those who consistently perform at their best, even under immense pressure?
Think about athletes like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He faced countless setbacks, losses, and criticisms throughout his career.
He did.
But what set him apart was his ability to view failure not as a defeat, but as a stepping stone to success.
He famously said, "I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed."
Powerful.
It's about embracing those challenges as opportunities for growth, not letting them derail us.
Exactly. Every setback, every mistake is a valuable lesson in disguise.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to learn, adapt, and come back stronger.
So instead of getting discouraged, we should ask ourselves, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this to improve my skills, my strategies, my approach?
Precisely. It's about shifting our perspective from seeing failure as a personal defeat to seeing it as a valuable feedback mechanism guiding us towards improvement and growth.
I remember you mentioned something called the so what mindset earlier. Does that tie into this idea of mental toughness?
Absolutely. The so what mindset is a powerful tool for deflecting negativity and maintaining self-belief, especially when facing criticism or self-doubt.
Yeah.
It's about taking back control of the narrative.
So if someone criticizes our work or doubts our abilities, we say, so what? I believe in myself and my vision.
Exactly.
And if we make a mistake, we say, so what? I'll learn from it and do better next time. It's about not letting those external voices dictate our self-worth.
That's the essence of it. It's about recognizing that setbacks and criticisms are a part of the journey, but they don't define us.
Right.
We have the power to choose how we respond and how we let those experiences shape us.
And even when things get tough, even when we feel those doubts creeping in, it's crucial to keep moving forward. Don't let setbacks paralyze you.
Action is the antidote to fear and self-doubt.
Yeah.
Keep working, keep learning, keep experimenting, even when it feels difficult.
Right.
The more we act, the more we build our confidence muscle.
And remember, you don't have to go through this alone.
Right.
The people we surround ourselves with play a huge role in our confidence levels.
That's so true. Our network can either lift us up or drag us down.
Yeah.
If you're constantly surrounded by negativity and self-doubt, it's going to be much harder to maintain your own sense of confidence.
That's why it's essential to cultivate a supportive network of people who inspire you, believe in you, and challenge you to grow.
It's about creating a confidence network that empowers you to be your best self. Seek out mentors, role models, and friends who champion your growth and remind you of your potential.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the confidence cycle, what's the key takeaway? What's the message we want our listeners to carry with them?
Confidence is a choice.
Yeah.
It's not something we're born with. It's a skill we develop through practice and perseverance.
Right.
It's not about being fearless. It's about acting despite our fears.
And it's not about never stumbling or making mistakes. It's about getting back up every time we fall, learning from those experiences, and continuing to move forward with determination and self-belief.
The winners aren't those who never stumble, but those who rise every time they fall.
That's so powerful.
Remember, you have the power within you to create your own confidence cycle and achieve lasting success in every area of your life.
Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope this exploration has given you the tools and inspiration to build unshakable confidence and create a life filled with purpose and fulfillment.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep believing in yourself.